Hare Krishna, dear devotees. It's a great honor and pleasure for me to be present among you all. Actually, yeah, Mauritius weather is very nice. It's warm, quite warm. It's summer. And I know in India it's very cold, but still you all there chanting the holy name, taking part in the morning program. So it's a great honor to be among you all. So today, His Grace Sri Gaura Prabhu has given me this opportunity to speak, to glorify the holy name, to glorify Srila Prabhupada. So it's a great honor for me. So I will start with a few prayers and then try to speak a little bit about our chanting of Japa and glorifying the holy name of the Lord. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravan Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavari Paschatya Desatarine. So I start by referring to a beautiful letter that Srila Prabhupada wrote on the same date, like 11 February, but in 1971. And Srila Prabhupada is like so kind, so nice. He is giving blessing to his disciples. It is in the beginning. And Srila Prabhupada is in Gorakhpur and writing to one devotee to a couple in Los Angeles. So, my dear Shriman Radhis and my dear daughter Nagapatni Devi Dasi. So there's one paragraph in the beginning. I'm just skipping. And okay, second paragraph is like that. I am very glad to accept you both, husband and wife, as my initiated disciples. And I have chanted your beads duly, and they are returned to you herewith. Your spiritual names are Tradis, Das Adhikari, and Srimati Nagapatni Devi Dasi. Your daughter may remain called as Janmastami Devi, and when she is initiated, she shall receive a new name. I am just requesting you to become ideal example of Krishna consciousness in householder life. And thus, you will encourage so many others who come in your contact to adjust their life to this sublime process. That in itself will be the greatest service. So, listen carefully. So please stay strong and stronger in devotional service to Krishna by chanting daily 16 rounds of beads, following the regulative principles strictly and avoiding the 10 offenses in the matter of chanting of the holy names of the Lord. If you follow this simple process faithfully under the direction of your spiritual master and try to understand our philosophy by regularly study, you will continue to progress your life in Krishna consciousness. And Krishna will simultaneously protect you from the attacks of Maya and provide you with all necessary facilities for rendering service unto Him. Please take encouragement and guidance from your elder God brothers and sisters and happy in Krishna consciousness. Hope this meet you in good health. Your ever well wisher. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So in this letter, it is very clear and very nicely mentioned how, like Srila Prabhupada is encouraging everybody, not only those devotees, his instruction is for everyone, for all of us. And it is so nice to see how this process of chanting, it is so sublime. That is in itself will be the greatest service. This chanting of the holy name, engaging in devotional service. So please stay strong. Srila Prabhupada is mentioning here. Please stay strong and stronger in devotional service. So please stay strong and stronger in devotional service. How can we stay strong? And definitely there are so many other things also can be done. But the main process Srila Prabhupada is mentioning, our daily chanting of 16 rounds of beads. And not only that, and that will, like, by following the regulative principle strictly, Srila Prabhupada saying strictly. Sometimes we tend not to follow, or this is like our nature. That's why, because we are rebellious, we became rebels, so we left Krishna's dham and we are here, so we have the tendency to become rebels, not to follow. But for our own benefit, for our own sake, to come out from this material world, the process is so important. So, and the process is also not difficult as in other yogas, meditation, living, even like in the beginning in Krishna consciousness, like in the 70s and the 80s, devotees has to leave their home and stay in the temple, and everyone was thinking that's the only way we can practice Krishna consciousness. But gradually, when after like getting appropriately trained or proper trained systematically, and many devotees to grihastha life, and then gradually devotees began to practice Krishna consciousness, and Srila Prabhupada also encouraged that process. Encourage the devotees to even if they can't like dedicate fully in the temple, even for grihasthas, if they are very renounced and very austere, then they can stay in the temple. Because for grihasthas living in the temple, like most of the time, uh, I don't know about, but in many places we don't have enough facilities for grihasthas, or if there is, it's very simple facilities. So, and so in that way, like we can see even grihasthas like living at home, they can also practice Krishna consciousness. They can attain perfection, and we could see so many devotees remain as householders. They practice Krishna consciousness, and one thing is very important, that we have to do our best. We have to come out from our comfort zone. Chanting Hare Krishna is very, very important, but at the same time, rendering practical devotional service, engaging our senses, giving our time. I don't know uh, uh, about maybe most of our devotees are uh, householders living in doing duties, and some maybe in the temple. But uh, the goal is to remain Krishna conscious. And how? The most important thing is our chanting of the holy name. Chanting of the holy name, especially if we can chant in devotees' company. Uh, uh, that's very important. That will help us, will keep us enthusiastic. Otherwise, if we try to chant in a lonely place alone, maybe in the beginning we will be a little bit enthusiastic, but gradually, because we are not in devotees' company, because we are not uh, with devotees who are sincere, devotees who are enthusiastic, we may lose our enthusiasm. We may become slack. We may stop focusing or attentively chanting. So when we are with devotees, it's easier. It's easier. It's easier to chant. When I was in Ujjain with Sri Gaura Prabhu, with so many devotees, and the atmosphere is so favorable in the temple when everybody is focused in the same goal to chant the holy name. But when we are away, or even now we have so many facilities via Zoom, via other facilities, we can chant with devotees and and and, and remain conscious and connected. So Srila Prabhupada is very nicely encouraging us to chant our 16 round, and by chanting will stay strong. We will become stronger in devotional service. And that's Srila Prabhupada is giving this advice, or is telling us how we'll remain strong if we chant. And not only chanting, following the four regulative principles, avoiding the 10 offenses in the matter of chanting the holy names. So, regarding the offenses, we all recite all those offenses every day. And the 10th offense, or plus the 11th one may say, to chant the holy name of the Lord attentively, which is an offense to be inattentive while chanting. It is explained that that is a source, or that is, if we are inattentive, we will have a tendency to commit the other offenses. So if one is attentive while chanting, one will become very strong. If we are attentive while chanting, uh, one of the most important thing is that when we will remain attentive, we'll become strong. When we become attentive, we become more connected to Krishna. When we will be attentive, uh, Krishna will help us to avoid all the other offenses. And the 10th offense is like to maintain material attachment. So I was reading one of the comments of my Guru Maharaj when he was speaking on Chaitanya Charitamrita, on the verse about from the cleansing of the Gundicha temple. So Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur uh, was personally giving instruction how one should receive Lord Krishna's mercy. Uh, so let me read it for. In commenting on the cleansing of the Gundicha temple, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as a world leader, was personally giving instruction on how one should receive Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, within one's cleansed and pacified heart. So our heart will be cleansed by chanting of God, and especially by chanting of offenseless chanting of the holy name. And I was explaining about maintaining material attachment. We all have material desires. We all have so many material tendencies, but to maintain it, that's offensive. To possess or to have material desires is not an offense, but to try to maintain it, that's an offense. So, by chanting Hare Krishna, our heart will get cleansed, and gradually, when our heart is being cleansed, by being cleansed, so all those material desires will come. It will like float, and we have to just not try to satisfy all those material desires, because our senses are like how can you say snakes? They always want to bite us. Krishna Baya Dayamoi. Krishna is so merciful. He has given Prasadam. Krishna has given the holy name. And by chanting the holy name, when our heart is get cleansed, we can welcome Krishna in our heart. Although Krishna is in our heart, but we'll realize his presence. We will feel his presence. We will feel how Krishna is helping us in every circumstance, in every aspect of our life. When I continue to read the purport, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and even Srila Prabhupada is mentioning that in this way, one can be pacified and enriched in devotional service. If the heart is filled with straw, grains of sand, weeds, or dust, in other words, Anya Abhilasita Purna, here it is mentioned Purna, and nowadays Anya Abhilasita Sunyam, one cannot enthrone the Supreme Personality of Godhead there. So when our heart is full of grain of sand, weeds, dust, straw, why all these things are mentioned here? Because when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was cleansing the temple in Jagannath Puri, in, while during Gundicha Marjan, so he was so careful. He was encouraging the devotees to wash the temple so nicely, remove all the straws, all the grains of sand, all the weeds, all the dust. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was encouraging those devotees who are doing well. And those who are not, even he would also encourage them by telling them, see how others are doing. Those who are doing well, so teach those who are not doing well. So even that should be welcome for us. If you are not doing something well, if someone is teaching us, if someone is trying to encourage us, we have to be happy that we have, just like Srila Prabhupada mentioned here. Uh, Please take encouragement and guidance from your elder God brothers and sisters, and be happy in Krishna consciousness. So that's also important. Normally, what happens after a few years, after sometime 5, 10 years, 15 years in Krishna consciousness, we feel we don't need uh, anyone's chastisement. No one should interfere in my spiritual life. But Srila Prabhupada is mentioning in the letter, please take guidance from your elder God brothers and God sisters. And because we are not ready to take guidance, many times our relationship also gets spoiled because we feel grudge towards so many devotees because they're trying to, either they're trying to help us, or they have interfered with our life. So that's important to welcome. If there is some comment devotees are making on our chanting, even if you are all like Srila Prabhupada, welcome even that. Uh, when one devotee said, uh, when Srila Prabhupada was very, very angry in England, while the deity's installation ceremony was going on, and Srila Prabhupada was saying, bring that, bring that. And Srila Prabhupada was like angry and furious. And one new devotee told Srila Prabhupada, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. And Srila Prabhupada didn't take offense. Srila Prabhupada take it uh, like something positive, and he also like during and he was chanting. He started chanting, and that's really helped. So in this way, we can see uh, we must cleanse our heart. Uh, the heart must be cleansed without ulterior motive. Uh, Without ulterior motive, not that when we chant Hare Krishna, all our desires will be fulfilled, our material desires will be fulfilled, we get a big job, we can uh, get a good husband, wife, whatever. Sometimes we have in our background, it may not be in the front, but we have so many motives. But we pray to Krishna, whatever is best for us, He give us. That's the best prayer we can offer. And one thing, something very important, we should be always prayerful, should always beg the mercy. And Lord Nityananda is so merciful. Although we are not qualified, although we have we have the tendency to commit offenses by chanting the Panchatattva mantra that will help us to chant the holy name nicely. And my Guru Maharaj, Giriraj Maharaj, he is always mentioning, and while because he has online japa every day. So while he's chanting after every rounds, he chants a Panchatattva mantra 3 times. And sometimes even in the middle, when maybe he feels that his mind is, I'm not saying Maharaj will you should have any doubt about that his mind is flickering, his mind is going here and there, but still, my Guru Maharaj he chant Nitai Goranga, Nitai Goranga, Nitai Goranga times to make just to set an example maybe for us. So that's while chanting we should become very, very cautious and conscious, uh, because by chanting, uh, attentively. And yeah, a few more maybe there tips like the free peas, peas while chanting Hare Krishna. Our pronunciation is very important. You have to pronounce Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. And sometimes we have the tendency to say Hare Ram, Hare Ram. But normally it's Rama, not Rama, but Rama, because there is 32 syllable. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And if you do that, like pronunciation is very important. Second, pace. We shouldn't do Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama 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 Rama, Hare. And sometimes in that tendency, what happens, like we see many, even devotees chanting for so many 30, 40 years. So also, because they have the tendency to chant too fast, they are chanting more. Maybe sometimes they can chant more Rama, Hare Rama, Rama 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 Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. I know what I'm saying because I have someone, I know someone who does that. And after many, many years of chanting in that way, it will be very difficult to correct ourselves. So pronunciation is important. Pace, how fast we are chanting. It shouldn't be too slow, so we can fall asleep. But it should be Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And one thing also, the first, it is mentioned by experience, by devotees, realization, experience that when we focus in the first syllable Hare Krishna, in the first Hare Krishna or Hare Rama, then it will be easier to focus in the complete mantra. So that's one. That's two. Pace, pronunciation, pace, and posture. If we sit properly, that's why Srila Prabhupada is saying sit properly. Sit properly. If we are lying on a beautiful sofa, then we'll have a tendency to fall asleep. If we are not sitting properly, we may have back pain, or we may fall asleep or whatever. So our posture is also important. Peace, posture, pace, and pronunciation. So I think my time is up, and a little bit whatever I learn, and I would I try to share, and I thank you all. I know you're all very experienced and very senior or very sincere devotees chanting Hare Krishna, taking to Krishna consciousness since many years, or maybe some of you are beginners, but still the process is so effective even for beginners. It depends how sincerely we are taking to it. So thank you very much. We have to thank Srila Prabhupada, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Gaur Nitai, and our spiritual master, and everybody who are giving us this opportunity to be in the association to stay Krishna conscious. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Thank you for sharing such insightful details on how we can improve not only our chanting, but our whole spiritual life. So really appreciate. I just want to open the floor if someone has any question or comment. Okay, Nishant Prabhu, I see you raised your hand. Yeah, you can please ask. You can, yeah, good.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danut Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for very enlightening nectar on how to chant. Prabhuji, my question would be, as you said in your uh, session, that the devotees who have spent 10, 15, 20 years, uh, sometimes what happens is, it's also situational, Prabhuji, that we get designations that you have to become Bhakti Vriksha leader, or then sector leader, circle leader, and everybody starts looking towards you to take inspiration. Obviously, in Parampara, that's how Srila Prabhupada has instructed, we have to follow. Also, what happens is that as beginner, when you come in, you are very innocently asking a lot of inquisitive questions. Prabhuji, I'm not able to do, still anarthas are there in my mind while chanting. Even Lord's name, I get bad thoughts, so on and so forth. But when we spend so much time in Krishna consciousness, even though we would like to ask these kind of questions, but somehow the thinking could come that log kya kahenge, what the devotees will think. I mean, it's not that you don't want to ask, it's about if I do that way, then the devotees who are following you as an inspiration will start thinking, acha, inka bhi ye haal hai. He is also this way, then how I can progress or leave it? So that's also sort of a confusing state, Prabhuji. So intent is not that, oh, I don't want to ask. It's that just because now everybody follows you and you don't want to hurt them. So you have to be careful, unlike a beginner. So your inputs, Prabhuji, on that. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. So one example we can take from our founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada. Like when devotees approach him and said, Srila Prabhupada, when I'm chanting, my mind is, I'm not able to focus my mind in this chanting. And Srila Prabhupada told him, I also I have a mind. I also have that problem. So Srila Prabhupada was straightforward and so humbly he accepted and he told that devotees that he's also having the same challenge. So in the same way, not that because we have accepted like very important uh, services or different, we are high in the hierarchy, so that we shouldn't, no, amanina manadena, we should be always feeling that we are the servant of the servant of the servant, and that's how we will make progress. And one thing, we should be always in a prayerful mode. That is very, very important. This prayerful mode, even if we feel like, okay, I can't ask, but if we pray, there was one devotee, Nanda Kumar Prabhu, he went to meet Srila Prabhupada, and actually, before meeting Srila Prabhupada, the temple president told him, you can't stay in the temple because you did not come for Mangalarti and that and that. You can't stay in the... When he went to see Srila Prabhupada, you know what Srila Prabhupada told him? You're taking sannyas. And Srila Prabhupada told him, you're taking sannyas. And that devotee Nanda Kumar Prabhu, he told the other devotees, even if you are not qualified, if we have such a responsibility, so what we should do, we should be praying, very sincerely praying, especially to Lord Nityananda and his representative, Srila Prabhupada, and our spiritual master just before. If okay, we know our weaknesses. Okay, we don't want to publicly say what our weaknesses, but we can pray. And at the same time, we can approach senior devotees to help us. It's not that we can, we should tell our genius about, if we have some relationship like where we can reveal, that's okay. But in general, we should be like, we should be someone like, how we say, there to encourage others. If But for ourselves, we have to seek for peers, devotees who are on our own level to ask for help. And with our senior also, we can ask for help. Maybe not in front of them, but we can separately ask for help. I think that's what is needed. And as is mentioned, that we have to be always in a humble and prayerful mood while chanting, before speaking, or anything, even during our whatever small thing we get from, we should be grateful to our Guru and Krishna. I think if we remain in that mood, definitely that will help us. And especially this prayerful mood, we have to write it down in our room somewhere. What is our difficulty and for what we should pray? We can do that also. Why not? Because we have to work on our weaknesses. We have to work on our because if we don't start working our small weaknesses, that may become a bigger problem in the future. So we have to work on it. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so
I
much.
hope that
Very
will
good.
help you.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I'll request Pawan Gupta,
Yes,
Prabhuji, to please unmute yourself and ask the question. Prabhuji, you are not audible, Prabhuji. Pawan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Am I audible now?
Yes, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Pawan Mukta Prabhu. Very beautiful name.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Prabhuji, you mentioned that having material attachment is not an offense, but maintaining it is an offense. Prabhuji, can you please
Yes.
explain it a little bit?
Yeah. You see, as we are since we are born, since we're still a child, we have so many desires. We have so many things coming in our heart. And as we try to fulfill one desire, another will come. But trying to fulfill all those desires, that is an offense. Like just as we have joined Krishna consciousness, and when we see the prayers of Ambarish Maharaj or the life of Ambarish Maharaj, he is engaging all his senses in the service of the Lord. I will not go into details, but one thing it is mentioned about the desires. So Srila Prabhupada mentioned what he does with the desire, like with our eyes, we do darshan, we offer obeisances, with our nose, we smell flowers offered to the Lord, incense to the Lord. So what to do with our desires? So it is mentioned we have to desire to fulfill the desire of the Lord. That should be our desire. And we have to desire to fulfill the desire of the Lord. But if we desire to fulfill our own desires, okay, now I have such car, I need the bigger one, more, and we have to struggle or endeavor very, very hard to fulfill all those desires, then it will become, then we can't focus into Krishna consciousness. We have to, we should live a simple life. That's very important. And then whatever comes without extraneous endeavor, without too much endeavors, we welcome them. But we have to work very, very hard. Okay, suppose I want to go to America and work, then I have so many years, I'm struggling and doing that and that. It's not worth. But if we can stay where we are, simple living, and practice our Krishna consciousness, and if you have something coming in our mind, we can clarify it with other devotees. Prabhuji, what do you think about that? Is this desire, is this whatever I'm thinking will become an obstacle in my life? What do you think? What do you advise? So the guru and the sadhus are there to help us to like clarify what we should be doing and what not we should not be doing. So in that sense, to maintain them and try to fulfill it, because desires are like will be coming like waves. Millions of desires are coming day by day. Yeah, every minute, every second, desires are coming. So many nonsense desires are coming. So we have to just uh, not try to fulfill them. Just tolerate our like the urge of the senses. We cannot try to fulfill all those desires. Impossible. It's impossible even for someone who has all the wealth of this material world to fulfill all his desires. So what to speak of someone left? Yeah. So in that sense, I think maintaining them, we have to pray, Krishna, why I'm getting this nonsense desire? I want to serve you. Please help me. And you focus in the chanting. And while chanting, if you have anything bad thoughts coming on, you chant louder and focus more, and then that will go away. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Prabhuji. So next question is from Sadhu Sevan Prabhuji. Sadhu Sevan Prabhuji, you can ask.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. I have a very basic question, Prabhu. Like when we do Panchatattva mantra, what difference in our mood we should have when we do the Panchatattva mantra as compared to rest of the Hare Krishna mantra? As a small analogy.
Sorry,
Prabhuji. As a small analogy, can we take it like if chanting is a school class, then Panchatattva mantra is a period of that teacher who is very, very liberal. He's not going to see our mistakes. So we can have full learning and full enjoyment. So that is the period of the Panchatattva mantra teacher. And rest of the Hare Krishna mantra is like Sarvodharman Parityaja. We have to be very attentive. We be fully disciplined. Is that a right analogy to understand Hare Krishna?
Yeah. Normally, in one purport in the, I don't remember the verse, but the Prabhupada is mentioning that the Panchatattva mantra, when we chant the Panchatattva mantra, like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Panchatattva, they don't consider any offenses that we have committed. So when we chant this Panchatattva mantra, we are like getting liberated from our offenses. But while chanting, then when we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we'll get full benefit of the chant of the Mahamantra. Otherwise, if we chant only the Mahamantra, like skipping the Panchatattva mantra, we won't be much benefited, because the Panchatattva, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda, Srila Advaita Acharya, all those personalities are so merciful. And even Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, like, he gave us a Mahamantra. Sometimes we can also think that if the Panchatattva mantra is so powerful, why don't we only chant the Panchatattva mantra? So in that connection, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning that because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu want us to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we have to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But the Panchatattva mantra is there to help us chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra like better, to help us to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, focus more into get full benefit of chanting Hare Krishna. And as you mentioned, yeah, it can be like that, but it is not only for the beginners, it is for everybody. Well, even all our very, very advanced devotees who are liberated, like Srila Prabhupada, he was also chanting the Panchatattva mantra. So the Panchatattva mantra is always there to help us. As a Panchatattva, they're always there to help us. And the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is, we have to chant to cleanse our heart. The Panchatattva mantra is here to help us. So this Panchatattva mantra is also like we have to focus, we have to be very sincerely chanting, and also we can be in a very prayerful mood while chanting the Panchatattva mantra. My dear Lord Gauranga, my dear Lord Nityananda, please help me. My dear Shivas, Adi, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda, all of the devotees, our Guru Parampara, please help us. Please help me to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in a proper attitude, in a proper mood, so that I can also help. Because what is our mood when we are when we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra nicely? Krishna consciousness will overflow, and then we would desire to preach, we desire to give Krishna consciousness to others, we desire to give books to others. Otherwise, if we don't feel like compassion for others, there may be one reason that we are not chanting Hare Krishna properly. Because when we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Vaisheshika Prabhu says, by this chanting, by following the regulative principle, sadhana, bhakti will overflow. And when bhakti will overflow, we would want to distribute to others. So if we are happy in our world, in our own corner, that's not enough. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. I just want to check if anyone else online has any question or comment. Okay, seems everyone is very happy with today's talk. They're satisfied, content. Thank you very much, Raghunath Prabhuji, for sharing such deep insights on the holy names and how we can improve our chanting. His Grace Raghunath Prabhuji ki jai. Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much. Accept my obeisances. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhuvesya patitanam pavanebhyo vaisnavebhyo namo namo. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanande. And have a nice day, everybody. Have a very Krishna conscious day everybody.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hari Bol Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna.